All right, I'm very happy to have Warren Werbitt with us today because I've been talking with you a lot during this conference and we've been having some good discussions. Could you please talk to the audience about what you're working on?
So presently I come from the packaging and printing space, and that's where I happen to know Steve from. Now I'm just kind of trying to think, how can I maybe help people within the industry by bridging the gap between AI and everything that we do in the print space, manufacturing. People have problems with scheduling, estimating. Like those are the two basic ones that people keep asking. And the other problem with the estimating is the industry's getting older. There's not a lot of young people who are coming into the trade wanting to know how to estimate. So there's a lot of nervousness.
Yeah, so I think you found the right conference to come to. What have been some of your key takeaways so far? We're a day and a half in, we just have an afternoon left.
So I'm sitting here smiling because from the minute I sat down to the first session yesterday, my head has just been spinning. So for anyone who's listening, I would say it's today, not tomorrow. If you think you're too tired today and you're gonna look tomorrow, you're already behind.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the real takeaway is that it's here, it's now, it's going to improve our lives. I mean, there's a whole other side to it, but in general, it's going to improve our lives. I think people should know not to be afraid of it, but rather to embrace it. Because perfect example is I'm finishing up a book and I had hired somebody to do the book and question me and, you know, get all the stuff out of my head. And a friend of mine said, why didn't you do it yourself? And I said, how do you do it yourself? And he said, well, I use chatgpt and you prompt it and the title and the chapters. And I said, that's great, but I still don't know what a good book is. So what I'm walking away from everything here is you still need the human element to make it move and to be right. So the AI will help a lot of the in-between, but you need the person at the beginning and you still need the person at the end for the completion of it all, and to know it's the human aspect of the feeling and what good, because the AI is not giving you feeling.
And for the shipping, the industry that you're in, how is AI going to help the most?
Well, it's going to help in everything, because if you look at the printing industry, before you print, you got to design something, you got to put some copy on something. It could be a brochure, could be developing a logo business card to be printed later. So it's all the elements along the way that make things quicker. It'll make things move. The potential for creativity is off the charts now.
Yeah.
Right? Not to take away from anybody and their expertise, but a lot of businesses don't have a lot of money to spend to get certain things or to get the creativity or the depth of some projects. So that'll speed it up.
The AI and helping with the designs. And what primarily are you printing? You're printing everything? Like
right now, I'm not printing anything. I'm just working more as a consultant to help print owners. For the longest time, I had my own facility, 120 people. We were packaging, large format, direct mail. Actually, now that I say direct mail, as I'm here, the whole AI thing with direct mail, lists, follow up, the analytics of your campaigns, just should make it like that.
Wow. So it's a little different. Is there any question that you want to ask?
I'm just sitting and just taking it all in. And like, you know, even the session with, I forget the gentleman's name from Ogilvy.
Antonis Kocheilas.
Antonis. He had the best session, I think, because it was most realistic with what we're living, and I think it was for Dove, and you know, showing the mother, the daughter, and the girls watching social media, and then the parents seeing what the kids are seeing and then becoming. I still have goosebumps, right? Like my kids are a little older, but I know that kids look and they're influenced and the way they're influenced. But now, with what he showed and the way they did it, parents could become more involved with their kids and know a little more. Right? Because the kids today, we know less about our kids today. There's no bicycles parked outside. All their communicating is on their phone. We don't even know their friends' last names. So,
was there a second speech that comes to your mind as your favorite?
Yeah, the second one yesterday with Andy
Sack
and
Adam Brotman.
Yeah, so I got to remember the names. Those two are great also. One coming from J. Crew, and then he was at Starbucks before and told all that. And then, you know, the other one with Microsoft where he worked. One was more structured and corporate. The other was a little more looser. but they just honed in on everything. And then when you hear them talk about the book and that they sat down with Sam Altman, to be at this conference and to have someone who actually sat with Sam, like my friend, and got the information. And then what he said about, Chat 5 coming out, and the next chapter was Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Like, we see these people everywhere, but that's probably the closest I've come to someone who's ever been in Bill's presence.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Aren't they writing a book in public and like releasing a chapter every month or so? Yeah.
And even learning that, producing the chapter every month and putting it out, because if they wait 6 months, the book's obsolete. Can't help anybody.
Next year, we're going to have Sam Altman as a speaker.
Oh my God. If you could have Sam Altman as a speaker, that would be amazing. The other thing about Imagine AI is for the first one, the way it's all been set up and keeping everyone together and everyone I've been talking to, they've been loving it. And if you look around, everybody's still here. Everybody's hanging out. To have the amount of people that you had, somebody was saying this almost feels like it's year number 4 of the conference.
Oh, wow.
Because of the way everything is done and moving. I think everyone should be here. And what's really was special about it was the transformation of how AI could help everybody in their life.
Yeah.
It wasn't for a specific target today.
Yeah. And also that, we didn't get too technical. We had some hardware experts, Grok here, but we want to have it, be accessible to the average person. So.
You know what? I subscribe to a whole bunch of the platforms and I pay while I'm trying to learn, but I didn't know what an LLM was before.
Yeah.
Now I know what an LLM is.
Yeah, it's all just a learning process. And that's, with this tech and with AI, it's all just anytime you're ready to jump in and start learning, everyone's gonna be on the same page because there's new stuff every week, Yeah,
so in my industry, actually, when chat came out, 18 months ago, one of my customers used it to design a brochure. And the brochure was with specialty colors, embellishments. He had one side for men, one side for women. So on the man's side, it was the car and the cognac and the cigar. On the woman's, it was the Louboutin shoes and the Hermes bag and all the details. And he was telling me that when he went to prepare it, like it does the layering, it adds the extra color, stuff that would take hours and hours.
Yeah.
And he said to me, that was 8 months ago that we did it. He goes, I could only imagine when I sit down to do it now, how fast it's going to be. And he also said one thing that I keep using. He said, in order to use artificial intelligence, you need human intelligence.
You need the prompter. You need to know what you want.
And I thought that was great.
Well, Warren, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I'm glad you picked a slot. I feel like I made a friend here at the conference.
Oh, absolutely, you made a friend. You have actually lots of friends here, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
No, and it's a pleasure to sit, and I'm happy to, just to converse a little and let some people know what I think about the conference. And I would encourage everyone to sign up before you can't sign up for the next one because it's sold out.
And how can people find you?
You could find me on, everything is under Warren Werbitt on social media. So WARREN, WERBITT. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
You've got tons of insights for LinkedIn, and I'm sorry we didn't get into that today, but in the future, I'm going to get some advice from you too.
Well, you know what? I'm going to invite you to come on to my Printer to Printer podcast, and we'll talk about AI in the print world, and you can go a little more technical.
Okay.
And we'll turn a whole other industry onto it.
I'd love to be a guest.
Pleasure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.